In today's session, we are going to see how businesses can access, manage, and deploy their digital assets into Sitecore Content Hub through a practical use case. So let me start with our introduction first. My name is Divya, and I work at EVM System. I have over 5 years of experience in implementing Sitecore products across various domains. My true passion is R&D, and I share my insights and ideas and practical use cases through my technical blog on getsitecodeskills.com. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn.
Hello everyone, I'm Santosh, software architect at EVM Systems, having 15 plus years of experience in system design and development. I have expertise in Docker and Mac-based solution design and development. On my leisure time, I also used to share my knowledge through the blogs, and I'm an active blogger and used to write blogs on Sitecore technologies. You can follow me on Twitter and LinkedIn, and I have also mentioned my blog post as well. Okay, so now moving to my agenda part. So let's quickly at the agenda what we are going to cover today. So we will start with the introduction to the digital asset management in the Sitecore Content Hub. Then broadly talk about the scope and key objective of our business use case. Then we'll have discussion around the high level and low level business automation flow, what we have designed and proposed. Then we'll try to understand the orchestrator, which are actually the backbone of this whole ecosystem. We'll also get to know that what is the advantages of using event grid over the log period, which is very important. And then we'll talk about the custom dashboard and their design flow. And then we'll have an end-to-end live demo. Then we'll talk about the key benefits what we can achieve by using this implementation. And then we'll have a recap and takeaways. And then we will be open for Q&A and answers. Yeah. So let's start.
Okay. So to set the tone of our discussion, let's start with this very often used phrase. Data is what you need to do analytics and information is what you need to do business. So in today's digital world, organizations have a huge volume of digital assets like images and videos, which is just sitting unused. But when they are used in a centralized and managed repository, these assets could be used in marketing campaigns or product launches, and through which businesses can know which strategies are working and bringing in more customers and help the businesses in growing. So they can make the better decision and they can connect everything into the system. So we can move to the next slide. So introduction to DAM and Sitecore Content Hub. So to give everyone an overview of DAM, DAM is a very well-known and core module of Sitecore Content Hub, which is used to manage and access the digital assets through a central repository, which can be seamlessly integrated with the other modules for the product descriptions and used in the marketing campaigns. It gives you the well access control. It streamlines the collaboration within the teams. It gives the integration capabilities with the other system and other products as well. It gives the various content type support and the advanced search through the AI and the asset editing. So now let's discuss what is the importance of efficient asset management. So it gives the organized structure through a single source of truth and consistent tagging of the assets. And it will create a very seamless flow of the review and approval process, which we can easily distribute the assets across all the platforms and the right management and the compliance. However, there are the few challenges which are faced by the organization, which are they have multiple sources of truth, and the data is and the digital assets are scattered, which send the inconsistent brand messaging, and they don't have much control over the access because they are present at the different locations, and which create insufficient workflow and poor utilization of resources. Now, let's have a look at what are the key features of Sitecore Content Hub. The first is they have the centralized asset repository, advanced search filtering, and AI for automated content tagging and release sourcing for reuse, and workflow management and teams can easily collaborate and share the digital assets over the platforms very seamlessly. So what will be the benefit of implementing the DAM? So firstly, it will improve the asset control. It will send a clear brand messaging and the consistency throughout the system. It will be very easily scalable. It will improve the security, and it's very seamlessly integrated with the other modules and the other products where you can send your digital assets for the further data and where you can connect everything in the content. Now let's have the scope of our business use case. So let's imagine there is an organization X, and that organization has large volume of digital assets which is coming through various agencies and designers and collaborators working all together. And now they want to move their digital assets from their current cloud system into Sitecore Content Hub, which is Azure in our case, and they want to migrate their digital assets from as small as 1 KB to as large as 5 GB or more into the Sitecore Content Hub. The organization is not much familiar with the Content Hub, and they want to sync with the Azure cloud during the transition, and they do not want to give the access to every user or agencies or their collaborators to the Content Hub to avoid any access control to the other agencies. Now we will have a look at the key objectives of the business use case. So the first and the most important thing is, what is the challenge for the asset migration? So Sitecore Content Hub does not support out-of-the-box asset migration for any cloud system, which is Azure in our case. So it will simplify the user access. The organization wants to minimize the need of users. They want one service account which will be responsible, for managing all the things into the Sitecore Content Hub. They want to reduce the training cost, which will be related to the agencies and the collaborators. They want one unified process, which is through the uploading multiple assets into the container. And ultimately, they want to improve their productivity by reducing the manual uploads and assigning the responsibility of managing by the organization or the product owner. And also they want to implement better error handling and retry mechanism so that there will be very less chance to failure of imports of assets into the Sitecore Content Hub to ensure a smooth asset migration. Now, this is a very interesting part. We will have a look at proposed solution workflow, like what the system we have designed through a very high level and low level understanding. So this is a flow chart which is for the high level asset automation flow. You could see there is organization and agencies where they have the access to the Azure cloud, and when the assets will be added in the Azure, event grid trigger will trigger, which will start a durable function. So its responsibility is to first check the size. Let's say the size is very small, so they should immediately process, and at the end of the execution of flow, they will be marked as processed. Later, if let's say the size is large, they will be initially marked as is processed true. So this property is, I'm talking of the blob metadata property. And then a night job, a private trigger will run. We will check if blob is not processed and the XST is not archived. And then at the end of the execution, it will mark is processed to true, and then it will go into this process, which is the most important. So here first it will connect to Sitecore Content Hub through a web client SDK. So we will make a connection to Content Hub through a web client SDK. Then in the process we are going to add the required properties and asset type to asset as Azure asset. So this is useful when you will go to asset page, and through this facet you could search for whatever imports have been happened through the Azure to Content Hub. You can search them easily. And then you will create a new entity destination in the Sitecore Content Hub. So why we created this is very important in this workflow, which is used in the front end. So we will discuss this later. And we will populate this entity, and here we are going to do is that we are going to capture the failure reasons, the asset ID, and all the information that we need to show the business, like how many assets have been migrated with the success or the failure ratio. And then we will create an external component using a REST API to track all the assets. And at the end of the process, you can check asset import through a reporting dashboard. Also, one more thing for the cost saving, we have created a one more job, which is a occasional cleanup job. So this job is basically to move process blocks to the archive tier. Let's say after going through this function, when all the process through large or small blocks all are processed, then we can move them from the hot tier to the archive tier. Now let's have a low level as automation flow also, a very low level understanding of it. So here interestingly, you can see there is organization and the multiple agencies, and they all have access to the Azure. So we are not giving the organization and the multiple agencies access to the directly to the Content Hub to upload their assets. So they are uploading into the Azure account, into the storage container, from where an event grid will trigger, which will start a durable function, and then it will check the block size, and processing block based on the block size will start the immediate processing job. And at the end of the execution of this job, block property is processed to true will be set. And then again into the content of the process, which I explained in the high level, will be created here only. Then the night job, it is responsible for processing the jobs of large size. And then we have the occasional cleanup call, which will be like actively scheduled by the business occasionally. So when they want to, for the cost saving, they can move their process laws from the hot tier to the archive tier. Now you could see at the end, this is how our dashboard is going to look. We have created one page on which we have utilized the search component, and we have also utilized the external component where we have created our own custom entity, from where we are capturing each asset that is imported into the Sitecore Content Hub with a failure. Let's say if during the process of import any asset fails, so we are also capturing that, so that business exactly know which asset failed during the importation process. So yeah.
All right. So far we have covered the business use case and about the challenges which the business can face, and we also discussed about the high level and low level flow. So before proceeding with the further slides, I would like to show you a quick demo so that it will be more clear that what we have proposed. All right. So let me quickly start these services, the functions, and then I will show you by uploading the images in container, and see how it is getting reflected with the container.
I think the slide is on.
Again, sorry, there was some issue with the connection. So just to recap, I just restarted the jobs which will be responsible to process the images. So I am going to upload the images to show you how it works. So this is the container we have, where we are uploading all the images into the Azure account, and we will see how it is getting reflected to this content. So let me just click few images randomly. Okay, so I am picking two sizes of images. For example, the bigger one and the smaller one. We will talk more about this, how it is getting differentiated. But just for your information, we have a setting, environment variable settings, where the size restrictions are defined. So for now, for processing the small images, we have defined the size of 2 MB. So the files which are having the size up to 2 MB can be processed immediately, and the files which are having size more than 2 MB will be processed by the timer job. So let me try to upload both kind of images, and we'll see if it is getting processed as expected. Alright, so we can see here that we have both small and big images uploaded, and now I am going to the content interface where we have the custom reporting dashboard, which is going to show you the real-time status of all the assets which are getting uploaded through the cloud interface. Right? So you can notice here that there is only one image we see here which actually got processed. That was the smaller one, and that is because the size was under the limit or under the restriction which we have applied the backend size. But as we also enable the timer trigger job, which is expected actually, assuming that it will be done on the nightly job manner. But for now, since for the demo perspective, I have enabled that one so that you can see both the result. So just for information, one more thing I would like to show you here. So once the asset is processed, so in that case we have created one metadata property which is processed, and this value is set to true or why, because we have, as we have discussed about the cleanup job that will come to the play at a later stage. So this value will be considered while making this blob to from hot tier to the archive tier. So that's why we have also utilized this additional metadata property. Alright. So going back to the interface, the Sitecore report, Content Hub report, and now I think maybe we need to search it, but if you look here, both the images got archived. So it means the images are already processed, and that's why we can also check from here. I don't know if something changed here, but it is expected that the images are getting archived after the processing only. We'll come to this point later and we'll talk more about the details. So let's get back to this slide part first. So there is some important concept behind this implementation that we want to cover. Alright, so we have utilized this orchestrator. So basically, by definition, as we know that orchestrator are the component of the software system that is responsible for interacting between different software components to make sure that we are going to achieve the desired results, right? So in our case, since we have multiple jobs here, so and that should be run in C. So that is why we have this orchestrator mechanism implemented here. So as we discussed about the immediate processing job, so we just had a look. The images which was smaller in size got processed immediately, and that is because of the event grid trigger which we have implemented. We will also talk about this event grid mechanism, why we have used the event grid over the block trigger. But for now, we have utilized this event grid using the durable function. We can also use the event grid using the Azure function, but that will depend on your business use case and the volume of data you are going to process. Right? And during the processing of the images or the assets, since we have to create the entity at container side, so that's why we have utilized this web client SDK to import the assets in the container. And on the completion, before completion, it will keep retrying until the fetch job is completed for each and every asset which is going to be processed at the backend side. I mean, as we all know that for processing even a single assets, at least 3 jobs run at the background in content hub. The import job, fetch job, and processing job. So we keep retrying on the fetch job. Doesn't matter whether the assets was processed successfully or not, but the condition of completion is that the jobs should be completed successfully. Likewise, we have a nightly job. So this is basically the timer trigger, but we have implemented this timer trigger using durable function, and that is all because of the complexity and the nature of the serverless architecture. As you all know, like the Azure function can only guarantee up to 5 to 10 minutes to be available in the consumption-based plan, but you can extend it the timing using the durable function. And also, because of the complexity, there is a need of orchestrator so that you can retry on the assets which are getting uploaded in the path. So that's why it was very important to go with the durable function instead of Azure function. Then we have the cleanup job. So as we already mentioned, and we just had a look that the assets got archived because we have this the cost optimization point of view. We have this implementation. We are trying to archive those assets from hot tier to the archive tier. So this is again a scheduler timer job basically, and only the validation part is that it will only process those images or make those archive which are having the metadata properties set to yes, true. Moving to the next slide. Okay, so since we already mentioned that we have used this event grid over the block trigger, and that is because of several reasons which are mentioned here. Like because of the nature, the default implementation, event grid provides event-driven architecture support out of the box, and it provides you the flexibility so that it can be decoupled from the services and you can have your own implementation. But at the same time, it will keep watching on the specific event to be occurred, and it will trigger on the same time. So you can consider this as a very close to the real-time event-driven mechanism compared to the block triggers, where block triggers is mostly rely on the polling mechanism. So that because of the default nature of polling mechanism, there could be a delay of up to 5 to 10 minutes if the service gets idle. It's not running continuously. In that case, there could be a possibility you can have the delay latency. So this is a very important aspect. The other thing is event routing. So again, the event grid provides you the flexibility to have multiple handlers compared to the block triggers, where you can have only one single handler to handle the request. So this again provides you the flexibility so that you can play with the end result as per the business need, but this is very important aspect. The other important thing is event filtering. So here, I mean, the block triggers lag a lot because it does not provide such flexibility. Where with the event grid, you can have these capabilities. Then again, as we talked about, like the retry back again. So here we have another advantage by utilizing the retry mechanism. So using the event grid, we can also rerun the failed events. So this is also very important factor to decide, which is important and which should be utilized. So block trigger does not have such features available. Right? The other thing is event schema validation. This is also very important. Let's say for any business use case, I mean, obviously we have a study on implemented accordingly. So there might be a schema required to process the particular block. So in that case, event grid provides you the flexibility to validate the schema first before triggering the events. But this is not possible with block triggers at all. Right? So now these are few additional advantages and use cases where to use block triggers and where we should go with the event grid. So obviously these are the very important and considerations while choosing between both. And I mean, being a solution provider, we should be flexible and ready with the answer, like with at least what, how, and why. This is very important. I mean, you need to provide the justification to the business while proposing any solution. Right? So that is why these things are very important. Think from the scalability perspective, think from the flexibility, then the integration. You can see here we have outlined the importance of event grid. It can be implemented with different services like Azure Functions, Logic App, Service Bus. This flexibility cannot be achieved within block trigger. This is very limited and associated tightly coupled with the Azure storage option. But there could be many business cases where they do not want to keep their assets on a public cloud. Maybe they want to go with their own data center and all. So in that case, you can also utilize event grid using this service bus. This could be one ideal case in that situation. Then again, security, that is also important. You can see like authentication and authorization is possible with the event grid, but you cannot do the same with the block triggers. And again, after considering all these factors, still we have a question why we are going to use this block triggers then. I mean, we cannot say that this is useless, right? So that's the point. And because of that, we have mentioned this point that whenever we have a small or medium kind of need to process the blocks immediately, you can still go with the block trigger because that is very straightforward. And I mean, it can be utilized for the small business use cases. So there is no any point to go with the complex architecture without any reason. So that's why. Other point is that it can be best fitted if latency does not matter for any company. For example, we are saying that immediate processing job. So if we say the term immediate processing, then it should be real time or close to the real time. But it could be a bottleneck with the block triggers where it can take up to 10 minutes of time because of the polling mechanism. That I mean, Azure does not guarantee you, I mean, whether it is going to trigger immediately or not. So that's why we need to consider this. Obviously, we talked about all these parameters, which is the key feature of event grids. We have highlighted those things. So this is also important. Now moving to the next slide. Alright, we just had a look at this the dashboard, the real-time monitoring, the reporting dashboard. We will talk about more details. In fact, we will see these things in demo quickly. But just for information, this is the appearance of this dashboard where we have also utilized the search component of the boss to add the features, and then we have the graph to represent the basically to visualize the data in different manners that can add the value to the business, and they can basically decide or make the decision that whether we are going right or there is some issue with the agencies or marketing team that needs to be corrected. These are the highlights of this reporting dashboard. And this is the design flow what we have implemented for achieving this result. So basically, we have used the custom entity definition for this use case, and we have the entity creation process. So basically, as I already mentioned, that we have utilized that the SDK client, the Content Hub SDK client. So using that, we are able to achieve this entity creation process. And we have the integration with the external component, which is being developed using the React. So we have used the React to develop this interface actually, and we have utilized the D3.js for achieving this data visualization. And these are the cool features of this report. So almost real time is uploading monitoring tools. You can consider this as an outcome. And we'll see this in action. What are those dashboard features and all. Moving to the live demo part, which is very interesting. We just had a look on the small demo part to show you that flow. But now I'm going back to the same screen and would like to show you the actual the technical implementation, what are the things we have done for this. So going back to the services. So basically we have 3 jobs right now. In fact 4. I mean the Azure function is also can be utilized as I covered, like it will depend on your business use case. If there even the immediate processing blobs are taking too long, so better to go with the deliverable function for immediate processing jobs, right? And we have the cleanup job, which will run on the periodic basis to clean up or the archive those blobs. Then we have this event trigger import blob to ch, which will always be activated, and it will process those blobs which are getting uploaded to the system as per the defined restrictions. And then we have this the timer job, which will run in nightly job manner, and it will process all the pending or all the blobs on the off-peak hours, so that it is not going to impact the business productivity. So that is the main reason we have divided these jobs into multiple categories. Using event create timer trigger and all, because of the use case. The real challenges which business face, like during the peak hours, sometimes they feel like because of this upload process, the users get stuck with the system, the content hub, because the background processes are going on. So to avoid those situations, we have planned to have one more job, which is also responsible to process the bigger size blocks in bulk also. Right, so this is the aspect of these functions. And for demo purpose, what we have done is, let me show you the variables also, how we control this process, the flow. So this is the event grid trigger. So you can see here there is one key defined, which value is set to 2. So it is basically, it can process up to 2 MB file instantly. So that's why this variable is there, but there is no such restrictions applied with the timer job. It can take all those assets and process those which is pending for process. So basically, we have, as I already shown to you, that we have a metadata properties, which value will set to true once the blob is processed and it is being uploaded to the content hub. So those blobs will be skipped by the timer trigger when it will be activated on the defined schedule. Right. And then we have a cleanup job. So again, it will run periodically as per the defined timeline, and it is again, this is the Azure function only, and it is we consider the costing part also, because this is the cleanup job. There is nothing to do in the background, so only we have to make the assets archive from the hot ticket. So it should be good to go with the Azure function only, and it can be completed in a single shot. And in fact, if it is able to do that and achieve all the archive all the assets to the archive blocks, in that case, on the second run, it can cover the payment. So that's why we have decided to leave it with the Azure function. Okay. Now I'm going back to my container, and I will try to upload few bulk images, and we'll see how it gets appeared in our report dashboard. So this is our container. So we have also applied the filter on our event grid. So basically, it will only keep eye on this container. There could be in real environment, there could be multiple containers that is being utilized by the business. So it is not, it is the event grid will be triggered on the specified event. In our case, it is block creation. So definitely, if anything gets uploaded in other container, that will be triggered. So if it is getting triggered, so it means it is going to utilize the server, and hence it will apply the costing also. So that's why we have applied the filter to keep eyes on this container. So now I'm going to upload few more images. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to take the big size images and upload it. Okay, while it is processing, I'm also going to take a few more images, because in real time this is possible, and this is exactly the case business needs. I'm also intentionally going to upload the assets which is actually not getting supported by the content. Let's see what happens. So basically, this is the exe file, but I will intentionally put it here and see if it is processed or is there any issue or error happens. Okay. And just for information, because so far we have uploaded the bigger size images and one error images. So let's have a look on the report what it says. Okay. So you can notice that the bigger size images is not yet processed. Why? Because we have applied the restrictions that the size which is under 2 MB that can be processed immediately. Otherwise, it is the responsibility of the nightly job to take care of those images. But at the same time, it processes the not supported assets. However, it cannot be further taken care with the container, because this extension is not allowed. But we have captured this thing in report also, that the assets got uploaded here, but because of the exe file, it is complaining that it is failure. It is in failure status, and it can so that it will give the idea to the business that this is the extension which is not allowed in container, but it is being uploaded by some agencies or marketing. So they can get to know these things quickly in form of the descriptive search result, or also in form of this graphical representation, where we are providing the details about like what are the success numbers and what are the failure numbers. You can also see the chart by time, like what are the success blobs uploaded and what time. So you will get to know these are the success result achieved at this and this time. And the same thing is with the for the failure assets. You can also notice that when it got failed. So you can see here, like we just uploaded this not submitted file, and this is comparing about this. Then we have another pie chart which will show you individually what was the reason it got failed or it was success. Right? So this is, I mean, if in case of success we are not showing because that doesn't add anything, any value to show that assets in comparison here, to compare here. So basically we have only captured here all the failure assets with the reasons, right? So it will give you the quick idea what went wrong. And this is the success failure by date report. Can also be useful for the business to get idea about like to get to know like when these assets are getting processed successfully or when there was some issue happening. So they can get the idea basically. And let me refresh one more time because we have also enabled the timer trigger there, right? So which is supposed to be run at 90 minutes. So now you can see here these two the peak images which we are having the size more than 2 MB is now available here, right? So basically this was picked by the nightly job and got processed. So now we have these two record also available in the system, right? And before proceeding, before showing you the search feature here, I would like to upload few more images should be processed immediately. That's what I am expecting. Okay, so let's process this small size image and we'll see if it is available there. So I just triggered this one. So this is using the event grid. So I'm expecting this instantly available here. So you can see here the one image is pushed to the content hub. And I just refresh again, you can see all three small images got processed immediately by the event grid trigger. Right. And now, if you look back to this the storage account, you can see here like the processed images are archived. It is pushed to the archive tier from the hot tier, right? So since we just uploaded this small size image, so we need to wait for the trigger to rerun on the defined frequency. Then it will also be pushed to the archive tier. So since we ran this in some time back, so now it is archived. And same is expected this also. So we'll come to this part later. So for now, let's have a look on the search features. So basically, we have enabled the search facets so that you can filter the records based on the facets like what are the successes, what are the failures. You can also search the assets by maybe name. So you can see that the search is working, what are the SUGCON related images got uploaded. You will get to know that result. And likewise, you have the sorting and you can sort the records as per your need. You have the published status report also, what are the items got uploaded actually. And we have also hyperlinked this assets ID so that you can go to the asset detail page to get more detail about the uploaded assets. So this is the image we have uploaded, and you can notice one more thing. Whatever the assets are getting pushed from the Azure cloud, we have added one the tag. The tag is Azure assets. So that once this will be reviewed and published, so in the asset detail page, you can also have the facet sets, so that that will give you the reporting about the uploaded images that was getting pushed from the cloud side. Okay, so still it is to be processed. So let's move to the further slide to cover the other benefits what we achieved so far. Okay, so we looked at our business use case, the challenges, and the implementation, the solution. So now it is important to understand the key benefits of this implementation. So this is basically the enhanced global asset management, which is one of the beauty, one of the key features. So that by applying this global assets management mechanism, we can achieve this unified storage thing, a scalable infrastructure. Then we have the asset upload automation, right, that we can achieve. Then we have also this improved operational efficiency. This is also very important achievements by doing this implementation, where it's reduce the manual interventions. It will not require the user to hold up for the moment to upload the images manually. It can be processed there and there as soon as the images are getting pushed by the agencies to the container. So that it will improve the faster turnaround time, increase the productivity. Then, as we just looked at the reporting dashboard, so we are almost achieving the real-time monitoring and the error handling mechanisms. So, out of the box, the Content Hub also provides this flexibility to find out the jobs, the error handling things. But it is quite easier if you get the same thing in the visual form, in the graphical form. So that's why we have this advantage. The other thing is cost-effective storage management. As we see that the assets are getting archived, then we have the graphical aggregation, which is basically covers about the visual representation.
Okay, so now we are running out of time, so let's quickly have a recap and key takeaways. So we have automated the asset importation, leveraging different Azure functions, and we are using real-time insights with the custom dashboard. So imported assets could be exactly seen in the real time. The enhanced operational efficiencies, which will increase the productivity and reduction of operational costs, optimize resource usage, improve security and access control and scalability, and cost efficiency. So yeah, let's move. So we would like to take a special moment to thank our team and EPAM system for supporting and giving the resources and enabling us to give this presentation through this solution. So Devashish and Shrikant, were part of our team and they helped implementing this implementation. So yeah.
Yeah, so we are thankful to both Devashish and Shrikant to provide the insights about the real challenges, business needs that they have handled. So that was very useful while implementing this solution. Thank you both. And at the same time, I would also like to thank to the EPAM system who provided all the required supports and resources and was committed to achieve the higher results. So thank you, EPAM system.
Yeah, we would like to thank our sponsors and for giving us this opportunity to present the solution in front of everyone and with the Sitecore community. Yeah, so the floor is open. If you have any question, you could ask.
One question is it possible for the individual, if we don't want to give them access to visual program or something, they want to text in head. So, if we speak from the market and say, HTML uploads,
Yes, I think this is a good point. So as we covered that the features of inventory, so that provide the packages to enhance your handling the events, right? So if you want to avoid to give access to your the users directly to the cloud container, so in that case you can implement some mechanism where you can utilize the service bus which will be responsible to push those images directly, and then the event will be triggered and will do the rest of the job. I hope I understand.
Hi Santosh and Divya, thank you. It was a very nice session, very good demo, and very educative topic you have chosen. So my question is, in case there is a very good chance that it is successful, but if we are uploading suppose 100 files and services fails, then how you will mitigate, how you will handle that scenario?
If I got you correctly, you are asking about the specific blog if it is uploaded successfully to the content hub or not.
Suppose out of 100 files, 50 files have uploaded and our services are failed. Then how, where will we see the report and how we will?
Yes, so as we just shown that reporting is that intentionally uploaded one exe file which was not supported by the content hub. So it was claiming that this is failure, right? So basically, what we are doing is we keep retrying the fetch job until it is processed, right? So doesn't matter that whether that blob is processed successfully or it was failed, but we have the status of that in this report.
Take one more question. So you show the size, 2 GB size or 2 MB size. How big the size we can vary?
Yeah, it will. It's a good question. So it will support the size which is recommended or allowed by the content hub. So I think,
50 GB.
yeah, the 50 GB size it can take care. Don't need to worry about the scalability because we have achieved that through the implementation, the proper implementation using the development sandbox. So it will take care of this.
Thanks. One question. First about the flow of moving the blog to the content. Yeah. And then the created and let's say for instance, the blog that is it is there to the content, but it's free to read.
Yes, sir.
What would be your thought on the position on how
yeah, that's a good point. But once the job is completed, we are going to set the metadata kind of flag to true. So it means now it will not be responsibility of the job to reprocess it again. But as we have these features available in the content hub itself, so that the workflow can be assigned with those status-based assets, and we only push this item to the create status. Even we do not push this item to the review status, so that it can be filtered out in the content hub interface itself. Yes, please. Sorry. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, this is we have automated the process at least so that this there is no manual intervention is required. Now coming to the question, you are basically asking how should we get user notified that these things got failed or this is done successfully. So for that we can further extend the features like once the job is completed, we can trigger the new mails with the same report what we are pushing to the content hub so that business is aware and the agencies are also aware about the same things. So this can be further extended. There is lots of scope of extensions, but that will depend on the business need. What business actually need from this. Yes, yes, I have to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, that makes sense to inform users.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.